have I named like six Hall of Famers in that span?
Yeah, I mean, it would really be something if MLB wasn't able to draw ratings from this. And interestingly,
You are Locked On Rays, your daily Tampa Bay Rays podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Rays, your daily podcast covering everything Tampa Bay Rays, from game analysis to player interviews. We've got you covered with all the latest news and insights. My name is Kevin Weiss.
I'm Ulises Sambrano,
bringing you expert analysis and passionate discussions about our beloved Rays.
Whether you're a diehard fan who vividly remembers Longo's Game 162 just like us,
or you remember the early Devil Ray days of Wade Boggs and Carl Crawford,
we're here to break down every play, every trade, and every milestone. In fact, this is our 6th season covering the Rays daily.
In every season up till now in 2024, they've gone to the playoffs, but you can still wear your favorite Rays gear, settle in, subscribe to our Locked On Rays YouTube channel and other podcast platforms. You can also find us on X and Instagram at Locked On Rays.
This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to win $50 instantly when you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game.
All right, it is a Monday episode, so here and there we'll get into our weekend takeaways, what stood out to us, good, bad, and different from the weekend that was. Ulises, what tickled your fancy this past weekend?
Well, let's start with we've got our best two teams, quote unquote, going at it.
Yes.
The very lowly underdogs, Los Angeles Dodgers on one side, and the forever forgotten, never talked about New York Yankees. So my first question to you is, do you want to sweep?
Do I want the Dodgers to sweep the Yankees? Sure, I would take that. I would accept that. I don't think Major League Baseball would take that or accept that, although they've got the matchup that they want for TV ratings and interest and so on. Doesn't get much better than Yankees Dodgers for attracting a national audience. Not to mention you've got Ohtani on one side, Soto on another side, and a bunch of stars in between that as well.
I told you this from the beginning when we saw that draw. My whole thing was, it looks too easy for the Yankees. It looks too easy. And guess what? It kind of was. It really was. I mean, the Guardians couldn't do anything to what the Yankees were able to do to them, and the Royals kind of same thing. It was a very friendly path to the World Series for the Yankees, and maybe that's it. When people say, "Oh well, it's a crapshoot," like I don't subscribe to the playoffs as 100% crapshoot, because that's just not it. You have to be prepared. Not every crappy team out there is going to win it. If not, then ask the crappy teams that didn't do anything this time around. So it's not a crapshoot. Like, is there some luck involved? Absolutely. Can a worse team beat a better team? Sure. It's a 3-game series, 5-game series, whatever it is. But you still have to be prepared. And boy, is MLB prepared to showcase Juan Soto and Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole and Giancarlo Stanton and Mookie Betts and Shohei Ohtani and Yamamoto and Freddie Freeman. And oh my God, have I named like six Hall of Famers in that span?
Yeah, I mean, it would really be something if MLB wasn't able to draw ratings from this. And interestingly, I don't know if we've talked about this before or if it's by design or happenstance, but I did look at the schedule for the World Series, and there is not a single game on Sunday. And my hypothesis is they are trying at all costs to avoid the behemoth that is football, NFL football on Sunday. And look, NFL is almost on every night of the week now. You got Monday, Thursday, they're squeaking it in every which way. But Sunday in the fall, in the winter, is reserved for the National Football League. And MLB is essentially punting to them and saying, yeah, we're not going to go up against you, even Yankees Dodgers. We're going to avoid that. Instead of a game on a Sunday, we'll push it back to a Monday. We're okay with that.
Could they have not played on Thursday instead of Friday? Of course they could have. Of course. Right. You can't tell me that they can't that day. But hey, like you just said, Thursday Night Football, they're like, let's just do, what are the two biggest days that we can possibly get with no competition whatsoever from the NFL? Yeah. And that is Friday and that is Saturday. And that's exactly what they chose. But I feel like in the beginning, look, I don't like that the 300 million plus franchises are going at it, because
it just goes to show you that I mean, in a lot of cases you got to spend money to get to this stage.
Yeah and I understand that. Can you get like far enough? I mean, the Guardians got to the ALCS, the Rays have gotten, but this just kind of just proves the point, unfortunately, that it's order to win it, you need to have some zeros, a lot of zeros under after that in those payrolls. But having the Yankees and the Dodgers situation, and then having last year with the Rangers and the Diamondbacks, it's true, man. Fans are so you can't please them. The Rangers and the Diamondbacks, there's a whole bunch of percentage of baseball fans that are like, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks, this sucks. And now we have a whole percentage of people saying the Dodgers and the Yankees, this sucks. It's so funny. Like, just baseball fans, they just want their team in it, which again, just be sincere about it. That's why you are saying that it sucks.
Right. And as much as we like to poo-poo on the Yankees, we do have to acknowledge and admit this is a nice stage for baseball. This is how you can draw on the casuals. There's really no better way to do it at this point, as opposed to Tigers and Dodgers or something to that effect.
How do you grow the game? Is it possible?
Juan Soto is a good place to start, and so is Shohei Ohtani, I would say.
Exactly. So, last year, the Rangers and the Diamondbacks World Series captured a new audience, new fans, new kids into it. Possibly Corbin Carroll and Corey Seager and Adolis Garcia. Like, of course, there could have been kids that became fans, lifelong fans, after seeing this. I would not be surprised at all if having the Dodgers and the Yankees create more fans around the globe than last year's Diamondbacks against the Rangers. Like, that's like, we can argue the merits, but that's a fact that you can't argue that Diamondbacks and Rangers is going to create more fans. I don't think it does. But so we can argue the other stuff, but this one is like, if you're MLB, you got your golden children going at it, and you're going to make so much money.
They better, that's for sure. All right, I got a couple questions on this for you with the World Series afoot later on this week, but we first have to tell the audience a couple important things. Like PrizePicks. PrizePicks is the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least two players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. Here's what's cool about PrizePicks. It is the best way to get action on sports in over 30 states, including California, yours truly, Florida, Georgia, Texas, and more. It is the only real money daily fantasy platform with an insurance policy for injuries, so your lineups stay in play even if one of your players gets injured. If your player leaves in the first half and doesn't return, well, PrizePicks keeps your lineup alive. Those are just a couple of the very many cool features of PrizePicks. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. So good, I'll repeat it again. Download the app today and use code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game.
I might still be dealing with hurricane stuff. But once I get that done, I am so looking forward to getting my bones cracked and getting aligned at the joint. I need it. My body needs it. And maybe your body needs it too. And at the joint, you don't need an appointment. You're just like, okay, you know what? I'm going to treat myself. You walk in and you get the care that you need same day, no scheduling hassles. You just walk in when it's convenient for you and the joint is there. And also they keep their prices affordable by cutting out the middlemen. No insurance hassles at the joint, just straightforward, budget-friendly care to keep you at the top of your game without the extra cost. And here's the real kicker. As a Bucks fan and a Rays fan, you can get your first visit for just $19. Head over to Buccaneers.com, check out the contest and promotion section under the fans tab, and download the offer. It is a great deal for us Tampa Bay Rays and Buccaneers fans. So head to thejoint.com to find your nearest Tampa area location today.
2 questions for you. 1, who wins the World Series and in how many games? The fighting Shohei Ohtanis or the fighting Juan Sotos?
My God. Dude, that home run by Juan Soto was sick, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I think we basically can give up any idea of him playing elsewhere in 2025 through 2037.
He's going to be a Yankee for the next decade. I am so angry about this. Like,
he's the anti-Alex Rodriguez in the playoffs.
And I used to like Juan Soto, and now I can't enjoy him with the bleeping pinstripes. It's so upsetting. Mm-hmm. God, Uncle Steve, do whatever you want. Get him 800.
Offer double of what the Yankees are offering.
Please.
500. Let's make it $1 billion. Let's pay him more than Shohei to really make a statement.
Right, exactly. Please, Uncle Steve, get him the hell away from those pinstripes. Who wins it? I'm gonna go with just my heart because I'm gonna put it out in the ether. The Los Angeles Dodgers are gonna get their bleeping World Series, so people are gonna stop dunking on the Mickey Mouse ring of 2020, quote unquote, because every time that people make fun of the Dodgers by winning a Mickey Mouse ring in 2020, you know what they're also saying? That the Rays have a Mickey Mouse pennant.
Fact.
So every time that people are saying Mickey Mouse ring to the Dodgers, I also get offended as a Rays fan because I'm like, bleep you. That was the most difficult mental playoff situation that any baseball player has ever had to deal with. And our team got to the World Series in the longest playoffs ever. So bleep that. How many games? Boy, I would love a 4-game sweep. Just in their hearts. But I'm okay with let's go with 6 games. Let's go with 6 games. Yeah.
And MVP of the World Series, chalk Shohei Ohtani based on what he's done recently.
God, it has to be Shohei, right? Like, it's just sick. It's just a Hollywood script. I mean, what he's been doing lately, it's insane. He's actually 18 for his last 23 with runners in scoring positions. Like, that's dating back to September 19th. So it's a little bit at the end of the season.
Right.
But it's nuts. In that stretch, he's hitting. Watch these. These numbers are so video game, dude. 783, 815, 1783 with 7 home runs and 28 RBIs. Like, he's insane. So I think it would be a silly bet to go against Ohtani. And then people are going to say, like, it's a silly bet to bet Mookie Betts or Freddie Freeman. And you're like, you actually know, you're right. You're right. Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman are Hall of Famers. So there is no silly choice here. It's an insane. Look, I am upset that these 2 very big, high-paying payroll giants are going at it.
Right.
I feel, though, if you really like baseball, if you don't have more than the agenda of your own team's sake, enjoy this World Series. Like, this is something that you're going to tell your kids about. Like, and it sucks to say that, but like, I don't think if you're a Rays fan, you're going to tell that your kid in 30 years, I saw the Rangers beat the Diamondbacks.
No.
You're going to say, I saw Aaron Judge go against Shohei Ohtani. I saw Ohtani go against Garrett Cole. I saw Garrett Cole go against Betts and Freeman and Yamamoto going against Judge. And so it's insane. I think we should really appreciate what it is. Have our angerness towards who they are right there with it. But also as a baseball fan, this is greatness on the field. Like, these are really great players.
I will say what the difference maybe could be if the series did go to 7 or does get extended is who has home field advantage. And that would be
The Dodgers.
Dodgers, correct? So because these you're going as cross country as can be from LA to New York, New York to LA.
Yeah.
I know they're on private chartered flights, but you're also talking different time zones, and you got some days off in between. But it's not easy to have to navigate that. So I think the team with an extra game at home could play to their advantage.
I know I got beat up on these like last 2.5 weeks, taking like 10 different flights.
Yes.
It takes a toll on you. So they're gonna. I know they're first class and everything, but that still takes a toll on them. Like to do that. Just back and forth. But how about you, man? Do you think also like me, the Dodgers? Are you just going for your hard or your anti-Yankees?
Yeah, I'm just
feelings?
going anti-Yankees. Dodgers all the way. Shohei all the way. Mookie Betts all the way. I mean, the reason that I would, because I'm going to be honest, I'll probably be tuning into highlights, a couple innings here, a couple innings there, but if there was a game that I would watch inning 1 to inning 9 or inning 10, 11, if it goes into extras, if there's a game 7, that really could flip the lid off for me and a bunch of other people that don't have a horse in the race, so to speak. So
I feel like any elimination game for me. I think if it's in the 4th game, 5th, 6th, like whatever it is that this could be it. I definitely will be tuning in games 1 through 9. But I agree with you. Like, just if you have some time, I feel like you're a baseball fan, give yourself just a couple 20, 30 minutes just to watch a little bit of the game if you can, because not a lot of, I don't remember maybe could be Houston against the Dodgers 2018 2019. That was pretty heavy with Hall of Fame. 2013, that was a pretty good one too. I mean, it comes once in a while. It's just these are the storied Dodgers and Yankees,
Yeah, 100%. All right, we have more to discuss from the weekend and what we learned. But first, we have to tell the audience something very important, and that is this. NFL fans, you can start the season with a big return on FanDuel. That is America's #1 sportsbook. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, you can check out the latest stats, view live play-by-play, and so much more on the same page where you place those bets. You can get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. So good, I'll repeat it again. Get started with $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 bet. Where's that at? That is FanDuel.com. All right, getting to a couple of my takeaways from the weekend. Interesting nuggets that I want to point out. Ulises, I don't know if you saw this, but MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said that whether the solution includes finding an interim home and or repairing Tropicana Field, the league would like to keep the Tampa Bay Rays in the area. Speaking on a podcast called The Varsity, he says, quote, "We're hopeful that we can figure out something in the Tampa Bay area for them and that the repairs can be done in a way that allows them to resume playing." And what also I've been enlightened about is I guess it is the city's responsibility to repair Tropicana Field and deal with their insurance adjusters and all the paperwork and red tape that goes into that. Whereas I think with the new stadium that will be built, that administrative role and brunt will fall on the Rays if there's an issue with that facility going forward. And some of the dollar figures that we've seen floating about may suggest that Tropicana Field may not be an option depending on what the powers that be say. So maybe it is a minor league stadium out there in the Tampa Bay area. Maybe it is Al Lang Stadium or something to that effect.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a first good thing we've heard from the league.
Yeah,
and that's a good quote. Like, hey, we would like for them to stay in the Tampa Bay area. And I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, obviously he has to say that. Like, no, but it's good he said it nonetheless.
Right.
Because we've seen MLB fumble a lot of things, and this wouldn't be the first thing. So the fact that they come out with a statement like that, you appreciate it, and you're like, okay, well, that's good. I've been thinking more about the stadium situation. It could be. I mean, I'm still thinking the Yankees are going to say no, and it's not going to happen.
Unless baseball steps in and maybe there's a vote by owners. I don't know. I mean, the Yankees do have a lot of pool, but do they have more pool than 29 other owners combined?
Right.
If that's what it comes to. I don't know the mechanics behind how that process is dealt with, but I will say this, just to throw another curveball at everyone. We've talked about this with the challenge of having two teams play in one stadium, and those two teams have a lot of games to play. I feel like that is very challenging. So how are you going to deal with that? And again, it kind of goes back to my thought of finding a stadium that is vacant or not utilized, or just houses spring training, and be done with it like that, unless you want to find here's another thought. Find two minor league teams that want to pair up and play in the same stadium, and then give the Rays access to Dunedin or Clearwater or whatever it may be.
And Dunedin, I think, could be the most likeliest of them all, because they just got those renovations for the 2020 and the 2021. So if there's a minor league team in the area that would be, I think, the first option to be ready quickly, even though it has a scheduling conflicts, it would be the Dunedin one, because they just had the situation. But the scheduling and all of that entails it's a whole complex issues that it must be a headache for a few people right now in those offices. But going back to the Yankee thing, yeah, it would be that the league needs to intervene, obviously, and the Yankees being the golden child, they do have a lot of weight on it. But if we just step away from the politics and the bureaucracy and the powers that be, if we just put those realities to the side just for 24 seconds, it seems rather silly if there is a stadium in Tampa for the Tampa Bay Rays to not play in it when they could have. Like, if the Phillies do what you're saying and say, hey, we're going to share it with Dunedin. If the Jays go, hey, we're going to share in Clearwater with the Phillies, and then you guys can have Dunedin.
Yeah.
It's just going to look like the Yankees couldn't have done that.
It's going to make them look more powerful even.
Exactly. So maybe,
I could see that.
So again, those realities are still there. I just want to have that question be posed, because it could be a reality, that an outlying possibility that the Rays could potentially play in Steinbrenner. But I still feel like the cool one would be Raymond James.
There's not a lot of there's not games going on every day. I mean, there's some concerts and, maybe a monster truck event here and there, but outside of those 8 home games, maybe some playoff games for the Buccaneers. Yeah, they have drainage systems, so you can make it work. It's going to be hot, but
it's going to be hot.
I mean, that's how it's going to be with all these other outdoor minor league stadiums as well. So you have to contend with that, unless, again, you want to go back and put some
the roof
gum and tape on the Trop roof. Just put some blue tarp over it, and you're good to go. I guess the ball would be easier to see if you got a fly or something. So
yeah, no. So it's dude. So many things have been happening to the Rays lately. Like, usually
one thing after another.
It's been a punch after a punch. But I do appreciate MLB saying these very obvious quotes that we all were expecting. But it's nice that they were there. It just makes you think, man. If there's no roof, then the sun and the rain is going to be an issue. How are you going to deal with that many delays, with that many games being suspended? Like, are you going to increase your double headers? Like, if you are you going to be looking at the Weather Channel saying, hey, This weekend we have a Friday, Saturday, Sunday situation, but Sunday looks like it's going to rain awful. So we're going to just do doubleheader on Saturday. Like, are you just going to be calling audibles throughout the whole season? Like, it just seems crazy.
Yeah. And that's what I think these minor league teams have to contend with. I mean, they're dealing with rain delays all the time. We would try to go to minor league games for dog nights and things like that. And so many times we would just be waiting around. All right, we're calling it. We're going to play a doubleheader tomorrow. It was like, seriously, I just waited around for 2 hours for you to call it. So that's going to be an issue for sure. One other note here, Bally Sports, the network is no more. It will now be rebranded as, you guessed it, FanDuel Sports Network. That change is important to the RSN conglomerate's parent company, Diamond Sports, as it navigates Chapter 11 bankruptcy proceedings that began nearly 19 months ago. So instead of Bally Sports Sun, it is FanDuel Sports Network Sun. This is very important, though. The rebranding has nothing to do, or it has no impact on the network's future with the Rays. There still has to be a renegotiation between Rays and Diamond, or find some other alternative platform for streaming and getting your games published. So I just wanted to throw it out there.
My question to you is, does the FanDuel Sports Network, is that a better name than the 1-800 Ask Gary Amphitheater?
Absolutely, 100%. Anything FanDuel in front of it, I'm all for it.
I thought so. I thought so. Yeah.
There we go. I don't know. You could work out. I mean, it seems like these betting companies have a lot of money to throw around.
It seems like they do.
Yeah. So, maybe you can, the Rays are a smart organization. I'm sure they'll figure something out one way or the other. So that would really suck. You don't have a place to play and you don't have a place to watch the games. I mean, you got to figure. You got some irons in the fire you got to take care of.
That's what we're saying. Like, those two things, plus the whole Wander Franco thing, plus the usual Rule 5 draft situation, plus, hey, can we get a roster constructed?
Yeah. Can we find a run? Can we buy a run?
Can we buy a run? Can we have people that know how to just score people with their hitting skills? Do we have that? On top of all of those,
then if you add in the fact that the Yankees win the World Series, that would just be another blow to everything. So
please let's not have that happen. Yes. I beg of everything.
Yeah, that's the last thing. I just wonder, maybe if the Yankees win the World Series, would they be more willing to, we're in a good mood, we're happy as a clam. Sure, Rays, you can use Steinbrenner Field for your purposes and so on. But if they lose, are they
going to be morose?
Yes.
Vindictive.
Or maybe they're vindictive and morose win or lose. Maybe that's just how the organization ethos is, from what I've heard.
They are called the Evil Empire, so yeah.
That is true. All right. In the meantime, hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening. Be sure to listen to Sully, who is the host of Locked On MLB. You can prepare for the Fall Classic with him and find Locked On MLB on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts.